Hey Christina, hey, thank you so much for being on the Elite Agent Talk. I'm so excited to have you on today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Dan. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here with you today. It's a complete honor. Thank you so much.
No, yeah. Well, we were just talking earlier before we press record, what we're going to talk about. But yeah, I'm really excited to share your story. A lot of it is going to be about your incredible life insurance production and commercial too. And then, yeah, your story about going from having some staff challenges to now having nine staff members. Congrats on PC. Congrats on already hitting 100K um, on year to date. Right now is just May, beginning of May, and then already hitting 100K on your business policies. And you recently had a birthday too, so a lot of great stuff. Happy
Yeah,
birthday to you.
thank you. Thank you so much, and congratulations to you too as well. And yeah, the big 4-3. So
Oh, really?
yeah, big
Oh,
4.
wow. I just turned 43 this year too.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. They say it's the new 20, so we'll
Yeah.
go.
Well,
We'll see.
maybe for you. Yeah, not, and maybe not so much for me. I'm just like, wow.
You're like, wow. Yeah.
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 So, so yeah, well, maybe we should just start there. Any tips on like, helping yourself feel good and taking care of yourself, or because I know it relates to business success too.
Absolutely. I mean, I get asked all the time, I mean, when I go out to places and I'm taking my daughter, she's 20, and they say, "Oh, who's this?" And they say, "Is this your sister?" And I say, "Yeah, she's my sister." No, just kidding. She's my daughter. And I like to think that my kids keep me looking young, and I do choose to have, physical fitness involved in my life, whether it's with a trainer or I just go out and clear my head with a walk, just always trying to keep myself connected to keeping myself healthy. So a lot of that comes with work-life balance. I do believe in that as well, so we can always, work really hard, but we also have to, give ourselves a break here and there, So I feel like 43 is good, right? Then so,
Yeah,
so far so good. I mean, I'm just, not even a month having turned 43, but it's all just a matter of perspective, also. A lot of people they could turn that corner and say, dang, 43 is 43. But we've got to just be able to embrace it and say, 43 is the new 20, or whatever the case may be, so no, I try to keep myself healthy, try to keep the work balance going, and obviously just staying really positive, because sometimes, when you turn 40, things kind of change a little. And I noticed, some things that you were kind of dealing with too, and it's all going to be better. It's all going to get better. So I send the good vibes your way.
oh, thank you, Christina. Yeah, I really needed to hear that right now.
Yeah, they're we're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, but it is all about perspective, right? If you could think
Yeah,
like that's really up there, which we probably used to think.
right,
But now that we're
right,
here, we're actually based on how we feel. Yeah, we feel we
right.
should we
So
should feel
for
great.
any agents that are younger than 43 that are listening today, it's you could experience a little uphill battle after a certain age, but enjoy it while you can. And if you do experience a little bit of uphill, I mean, just look at us, we're fine. So
Yeah,
far, so good.
yeah. The stress is not showing up,
Yes.
even though there is stress.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely.
how did you get started in the business? Let's just start from way back. What were you doing before, or maybe even like where did you grow up, and yeah, before
Well,
the
I mean,
legacy.
for me, my mom was a bit of she moved around a lot, and we settled in Porterville. And this is where my kids are born and raised here in town as well. You know, I started off working for State Farm. I actually just happened to get the job because my mom decided to turn down a position. It was with a very elite agent here in town. And she says, no, you know what? I've got a daughter that she's been a receptionist before. I do have some experience working for RBC Dane Rauscher. I was a wire operator and I loved what I did, but I ended up having a child and decided to, pursue another avenue. But when she turned down the position, it was the best thing that could have ever happened for me, because this State Farm agent opened the doors up to me. And ultimately, he ended up saying, I think you got something. I think you're cut out for sales. And I said, really? I was taken back by him, and he started spending a lot of time with me to grow me to into the person that I started out to be. And he said one day, he said, Christina, I have no doubt that you could sell ice to an Eskimo. And I thought that was the best compliment I could have ever received. I was so green, months in, and instantly became his favorite. So I was, always with him and learning, and he was my mentor. And so what ended up happening was I ended up growing out of the position and started off working at another State Farm agent, and just kind of took that one as a time to kind of learn like more about insurance. And so I was there for a year or two, and then I grew out of that position as well. I told you it was going to happen. I grew out of that position as well, but I got a great opportunity with a new State Farm agent. So I ended up working for this agent who was just new to the business, and I had already established like systems from previous positions there at State Farm offices. And so I implemented them there at his agency. So basically turned him into a spectacular agent. He was able to travel. It was great, for him. And we were number one in life sales always. I still remember the one time that I was an agent. I went to this person's house and I sold 8 life policies to the husband, wife, and the 6 children. And it was just like, what am I doing? This is incredible. So I went to him one day and I said, hey, I need a raise. I'm doing so much. This agency is producing so well. You rely on me, you depend on me for so many things. And he said, I can't give you that $4 an hour that you want. And I said, okay, I'll still keep doing this, until a friend of mine showed up with a farmer's insurance postcard. And she said to me, Christina, I don't think this is for me. I think this is for you. And mind you, at the time, I'm 6 months pregnant with my son. And she said, and I said, there's no way possible that I'm going to be able to go work for myself, as this individual who has, I'm, nesting a child, and she says, no, you got to go try. You got to go try. And sure enough, I called the district manager, and they were super ecstatic. I mean, we're on the phone. They see my resume. They know I'm licensed. They know my production. And I can only just imagine what they must have felt the moment I walked in the door, and here I am pregnant. And so, for me, it was big for me. The district manager really believed in me. And he said, you can do this even as in whatever condition you're in. I believe you can. And of course, there were other people that didn't believe that I could. And so, of course, as entrepreneurs, as successful individuals, that just fuels our fire. So I ended up careering 2 months before my son was born.
Wow.
And I ran to daylight. I crystal blue vase, my first trip was at the Bahamas, for selling, I think it was like 26 life policies. Um, and it just kind of just started from there. You know, I was given the great opportunity to do what I love, and here I am now. So so yeah, I mean, it's been a journey, it's been a great one. I used to joke with people all the time, and I would start off by telling them like, um, yeah, I just had my son. I would take my son to my office. I didn't have an office this big, but I had just a one office that was, 14 by 14. And I would take him in a crib,
Hmm.
and I would start policies for individuals. They'd come into my office, and they'd say, "Oh, it's whose baby, or whatever. This is my son." And there's people to this day that I started and they still remember those times. And it was because I just wasn't going to give up. Wasn't going to give up on myself. And at that very moment, I having my son, and my daughter, I wanted to create something for them. I wanted to create a legacy for them. I wanted them to be able to be comfortable. And I mean, I didn't really understand at that time. I think a lot of times we say, oh, we're going to make this much amount of money. Oh, we're going to make this much amount of money. But we never think we're going to make this much amount of money. And so, I was just mostly concerned with just keeping them comfortable. So so yeah, it's been quite a journey, and one that we've had a lot of great things to memories to reflect back on.
Wow, yeah, you must be so proud of yourself, but that must have been a crazy situation because there's already so much uncertainty when you're pregnant. Well, not that I know, but there must be. And then starting a new business, I mean, there's nothing could be more uncertain than that. And your son is your second child, correct?
Yes, yeah, he's 16 years old. My son is I like to call him my Tiger Woods. I mean, he loves golf. He's always at the golf range, and my kids are everything to me. Everything to me.
Yeah, and this business provides so much for them, but it's interesting how his birth date and your agency's anniversary is always going to be the same, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I absolutely. That's exactly what it is. So, um, I've tried to get my son to, take over the reins for me, but he's got a craft that he is very good at, and he just won a state championship for it. So I think he's gonna do something else. But my oldest is has officially joined us, Team Miceli. So we are ecstatic about it. She's a property and casualty and life licensed as well. And I just only see amazing things ahead. Yeah, amazing things ahead.
That's awesome. What would you say to any agents that maybe are thinking about, taking that next step of agency ownership, but is just scared, what went through your mind and what type of decision-making process did you go through to to,
Wow.
make the decision?
I mean, there is a lot of fear sometimes. I mean, that if I could just be very completely honest, fear fear cannot be the factor that determines your success. I know sometimes it can drive us, and for me, I would honestly just say, believe in yourself. Others may not believe in you, but if you believe in yourself, the sky is the limit. That very moment when, I had that district manager supporting me, and then there was others that were not supporting me. I mean, I took that as an opportunity for myself to say, look, do you think that you can do this? And I had to make the decision of if I actually could or not. And without even knowing where my support was going to come from, without even knowing where the financial support was going to come from, without knowing a lot of little details. But the one thing that was for sure was I believed in myself, and I mean, I really thrive on, people when they don't believe in me. And I know it's the same thing too with you, when we're successful, when people say we can't do it, it's like, oh, I'm going to try to figure out a way to do it. And so yeah, take a chance on yourself. If it doesn't work out, hey, you've got the experience under your belt and you can say that you tried. I mean, if you don't try, then obviously you can't say you tried. But, some people say, oh, I'm just going to go into the office. I'm having this discussion with my daughter now because, she's in training. And she says, oh, I'll probably go to the office maybe 3 times a week. And then I'll take a vacation, and when I sell my first policy, I'm going to buy myself this. And then I said, no, honey, give it time. You need at least 5 days a week, at least minimum, to where you're working 8 to 10 hours, sometimes longer than that. Let's just be honest. And then we go home and we work as well. That's something that we do sometimes. Don't ever take a break until you have, hit a goal or achieve something. You can't, the goal is not to like give yourself a break here and there. It's kind of like you set out for something, you've achieved it, and then you earn it, you know? And so we've been having this discussion, and I think she's starting to understand, like, oh, so mom really didn't take a whole lot of breaks. I don't remember because she wasn't home very often when I was little. But now she kind of does. So, it makes more sense to her that I've explained it to her. But yeah, I mean, you've got to give your all. You have to give what you can, like your all. Obviously I'm saying that in the respect of, taking care of yourself and making sure that you're healthy and you're not creating, a level of stress where it where your health is an issue. But sometimes we teeter that line.
Yep.
Oftentimes I think sometimes we just kind of teeter the line, and it's okay because we make it through. But sometimes we get really close to the moment where it's like, okay, enough is enough. I need to not work. So but yeah, I mean, definitely someone who's just starting out, gotta believe in yourself, really push yourself, and you will be surprised. I'm surprised. I'm still surprised at myself. Almost 17 years later, I'm still very surprised. I never thought that I would be here. And it's kind of cool. I am, so
Yeah, it's very cool. And I think that even the self-belief, not only in the beginning, but you need to continue to have that
yeah,
because there's moments in our career where things don't look great, but you just have to continue to believe in ourselves to keep us going.
absolutely. Especially with a lot of things that we're dealing with in California right now. It's easy to kind of take the negative approach and say, oh my gosh, nothing is possible. It's just, we're a sinking ship, whatever the case may be. You know, my We'll have to cut this part out.
It's okay.
We leave it for a blooper or something. But this also too has sparked up something within me too, because we could go about this in a very negative mindset, and you know what that does to the rest of the team.
Mhm.
All of, whether we're negative or positive, projects over to our team. you know and so I've told my team, I said, look, like, we will write whatever we can until the day we can't. And if we can't write it, we will find something else to write. We have so many clients and so much opportunity in our agencies that it's a gold mine. Okay, if we can't write auto, I get it. Or if, yeah, we can't write home, we still got other places that we can still place home. and auto, and life and commercial, you know? So, you know, I think that the beginning of this year was kind of like a moment for me to prove to myself. The most commercial I've ever done is I've gotten close to 100,000 before for the year. And this year, I remember having a discussion with my friend, and I said, I want to hit 100,000 by the end of April. And as I was saying it to myself, I'm like, this is crazy. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. And I closed my last deal, you know, I think it's been like 8 days ago. And that got me over the 100. And I'm like, wait, it's home. It's basically the end of April. This is what I said to myself that I was gonna do. And without knowing it, I actually did it.
Wow.
So so it was just, I feel like, you know, projection out there too, just,
Hmm.
you know, sending it up, you know, to the universe and, you know, asking God's help to make it happen. And it did, you know.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
I,
just putting it out there,
yeah,
makes it come true. What did you do different to hit those commercial numbers?
I'll tell you what, Dan, there was something that did happen, and I was I said there was a time that I lost business. I was competing against another company, and it was for a large account.
Hmm.
And I feel like I did an okay job with the presentation, pricing, all of that, but it was lacking. My overall as a professional, I was lacking. I didn't treat it the way that it should have been treated. And so if you want to say that I made a mistake or I didn't do my job as well as I should, I would say yes, absolutely. And so from losing that particular policy that was rather large, I said to myself, this can never happen again. And the way that it's never going to happen again is if I treat every single policy as if it's my last. And I mean, right after that happened, I said, oh, okay, you know, you got to work Saturday. Oh, you got to work Sunday. You got to do this quote. And, you know, the quotes were coming in and coming, you know, back to back to back, you know, and, and I said, no, I'm going to treat these as if these are the last quotes that I will ever see in my career. And it worked, you know,
Wow.
it really did. And here I am. I mean, I'm over 16 years in. I'm not green. I'm not just, you know, out of the gates, you know. I'm a seasoned agent, but I needed to put my own fire under my own self, you know, and hold myself really accountable to the professional that I am. And I think it really did work.
Y-
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point. I think sometimes agents, when things don't work out their way, they like to blame someone else or the client or the company. But you looked in the mirror and said, hey, I have to get better, which is probably the turning point. But and also treating every code like it's your last, I think that's great because sometimes when we do get seasoned, we kind of take codes for granted.
Oh, absolutely. Don't we though? I mean, that, and it's okay. I mean, we've been doing this for a while. I get it, but you know, if you in your heart know that you can do better and you can perform better as an agent, why are we holding back? You know? And so yeah, I really did just want to challenge myself to do better. And like I said, just take it as if it was my last. And you know, it could very well be my last. What if I just hit 100,000 for the year? I don't know, but I will know that I gave it my all, you know. So, which I don't believe that it will be my last, but you know, I've got some things coming through, and that I really want to focus my time on, that I feel will generate more commercial production for our agency. So yeah, you know, kick yourself in the butt. I mean, do what it takes. Like, take out your old, sales sheets if you have to. I mean, I used to write in we still do in a sales book. And, if you go back, you see you write like, I mean, you and your hundreds, and I don't know how many hundreds of policies you've written in like 1 month. But for us, I'd be like, hey, we used to do so well. Like, we could do that again, you know? So, so yeah, absolutely. Lighting the fire under myself was definitely what was needed.
Yeah, you're making me want to make some sales calls right now.
Well, good. I'm thinking too, like maybe I should make some calls today too.
What type of marketing strategies do you have when it comes to commercial? Like, do you like a certain like niche, or how were you able to generate some of these leads?
We don't have a certain niche. Right now, we are working on a campaign for a certain niche. It's to be determined. We have a whole campaign that's going to be coming out about it. You'll know soon.
Okay.
We'll hope to drive a bunch of commercial premium. But one thing, is just, setting ourselves apart from the competition is always been something that I've always told everyone, especially when they ask me like, how do you do this? And but so that's to come. But no, there wasn't any certain niches. I I mean, yeah, there wasn't any particular niches. We're just working everything that comes in a very quick fashion. Um,
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, when you're doing business for a long time, you have a good reputation, then
yes,
such
yeah.
things starts
So
coming.
so word of mouth, absolutely.
Hmm.
Our town is of but 62,000.
Hmm.
I see the city landscape behind you, and I just think there's probably like 62,000 in just that area, you know? And so the opportunity here is a lot smaller, but the word of mouth, you
Mm.
know, when you treat one customer right, they tell 10, 15 other customers. And that really has spoken volumes for our agency, and granted, like it's not always going to be perfect, I can't sometimes meet the standards of every client that comes in, but I will try. So absolutely, word of mouth has definitely helped us quite a bit. We're involved in some clubs, and we try to stay on social media. But other than that, I really just do feel like people just started, you know, telling each other like, hey, I have this friend that needs commercial business. I actually did do a quote for an individual who came in through the quotes to farmers, and I presented over $25,000 of premium to this gentleman, and I gave him my best.
Hmm.
I gave him the best at everything that we could offer, the best that was included in the policy, and it was beautiful, but I'm like, oh, it's $25,000, okay, we'll see how this goes. And he said to me, you've given me the best. And little did you know that I always want the best. And I'm not the kind of guy who will pinch you, for money. Like it's not, I'm not a penny pincher when it comes to that, because I want the best coverage available and I'll pay for it. And I'm like, oh, he's got the cues. The cues are
Hmm.
that he's gonna close, and sure enough, he did. We did close, and he was very appreciative because he said, "You started off with the best, where others they're just so concerned with the price." And he's
Mm.
like, "Little did you know that I wanted the best, and I was going to pay top dollar for the best." And I'm like, "Hey, build some more convenience stores, you know? Do what you gotta do, you know? I'm in this. If you want 6 more locations, I'm good, you know? So so yeah, just even learning about that, is kind of like I'm gonna put my best foot forward and then we work our way down if we have to.
Yeah, no, but yeah, if you're doing your best and providing them with the best, then I think that's sometimes, like you said, how brands differentiate themselves from others. You know,
Absolutely.
if you're the best, people will be willing to overpay for what's best.
Yeah.
But
Not
that's
everyone, but it's okay.
yeah, not everybody,
Mhm.
but the type of people you probably want will, So that's awesome that you do that, and I think that your intent is to just really help, and I think that goes a long ways.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so that's awesome. What about the life insurance numbers? I mean, 200 policies, 214 policies in 2021.
Mhm.
Last year, 150. Um, where did we start? Well, you were already a superstar before you started your agency with life insurance, so that probably helped.
Absolutely. I get a lot of people ask me this question all the time. I think it's probably like the first thing that people often ask me about. Um, and you know, I feel, and this is something that I feel in the pit of my stomach is, your production will follow your passion. Um,
Hmm.
if you believe in the product, if you believe like so many times, like, just we've heard stories, over and over of people who didn't carry life insurance or their family member is scrounging or taking loans out or car washes or creating accounts, to fundraise money, and it's just terrible, you know
Hmm.
me as a professional, you as a professional, we have our licenses, and we are, we took the tests, and so the state of California says that we're deemed professionals in the life insurance and property and casualty. And I just feel like we need to just exercise that. Why is it that we are leaving, life insurance out of our daily you know auto production or homeowners sales. So yeah, I rallied around my team. In 2021 we had a spectacular year. you know um, we were all very focused on life insurance. The moment someone walked in, you know if they were changing out a car, we would talk to them about life insurance. If they were adding a vehicle, we would talk to them about life insurance. If we were adding a driver, we would talk to them about life insurance. Anybody who was new business that walked through the door, we talked to them about life insurance. It was a constant, and it's one of the tools. I mean, it's one of the things that I feel makes someone successful is just the constant, the consistency of what is important to you and what is important to me, as the agency owner. Um, that will then transpire over to our staff.
Hmm.
Our staff will be like, "Huh, I'd hate for that person to leave this office today and me not talk to them about life insurance and something happened to them." I get some of my team, they don't know, they don't have stories. So we'll Google, stories about, the statistics about how many people are in an accident that die from accidents every day. I'll show them videos, and then they can get a better perspective of what this policy actually does for family beneficiaries. And then themselves, they also create a passion. um, I feel like it starts from the top and it
Hmm.
works its way down. We have to become passionate about life insurance if we want our team to be presenting life insurance. Um, someone that I was talking to about life insurance that doesn't have life insurance, but is going to start life insurance, um, said to me, he said, "Oh, well, you're just selling life insurance." And I said, "No, I don't sell life insurance. I am a professional, and it's my job to make sure that you understand that life insurance is the best policy that we offer. I can, if you have auto insurance, indemnify you with another auto, with another home, but there's nothing I can do for you if, or for your family, if you pass away." And he says, "I don't want to leave a burden to my family." I said, "You're sold, buddy. I'm going to start a life insurance for you. And that's just the case. The team has to be on board. Um, I'd like to say, we can hit 214 this year too. um, you know, but I think that it's still early on in the year. We'll see. We'll see where things go. I'm pretty sure that they'll be just as good, but you never know. My
Yeah.
team my team is full. Like I've got a full team now, and I think that they're just ready to, get things going.
I'm definitely rooting for you guys.
Thank you.
Out of all those policies, is it mostly you that write them, or how does it break down with staff
Yeah.
within life
So
insurance?
I would have said in 2021, a majority of the policies were started from team members. I was doing a lot of conversions, and so I was, you know, reaching into our book of business and converting term policies over into IULs. Um, so a majority or a large percent, I would say, would be the team.
Hmm.
And then I kind of handle another percentage. Same thing for 2022 as well, was very much the team, you know, getting on board and, staying true to the best policy that we offer, life insurance. And so, we were able to bring in 151, was 151, yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing. Um, and would you say most of those are from talking to your existing 5,000 clients, or do you have is most of your life sales from existing clients, would you say, or do you lead with life insurance situations, or what type of like marketing plans do you
Yes,
have in place?
yeah, absolutely. So it definitely is, our production for life insurance is driven from our current book of business. Out of the 5,500 policies in force, I don't know how many don't have life insurance. Oh, I have 1,129 policies in force for life insurance. So there's
Wow.
a lot of room there
Still,
still.
huh?
Has so much room. I have noticed a lot of times um, that we get a lot of referrals for life insurance.
Hmm.
Again, my passion is life, and I feel like those are just natural things that project onto other people. And then before you know it, you've got, people calling in that, "Hey, so and so told me that you wrote them a life insurance, and now I want one." And then I also have another friend that needs life insurance. And it just creates just a domino effect. And then before you know, you're like, wow, okay, I think we're doing something right here, and we're getting all these referrals, and they're just from people that we have already taken care of. I did had Unfortunately, I had one of my insureds pass away, and his son came into the office, and he says, I said to him, "I'm so thankful, your dad was a client of mine for many years, and I was able to help him." And he's like, "Oh, and Farmers has been so good to us, and they're going to send me the money." And I said, "Yeah, we're going to take care of you." And I said, "But now I need to take care of you." And I said, we need to get something started for you. And he says, absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't see, a better thing to do to get started. And that was from a meeting with the beneficiary
Hmm.
of a life claim. So, obviously that's turning a negative into a positive. But yeah, we were able to start a life insurance policy on him. And he's a client to this day. So, every opportunity
Hmm.
is a potential life opportunity. Um, I kind of thought this was a clever saying, and I use it and I think of it. I have it on a board right next to my nightstand, and it's write a life a day to keep the guilt away. Because for me, if I lose perspective of my professional position as a life insurance agent, I mean, I'm just going to let those opportunities go. And people who need the coverage won't have it. And so for me, you know, you can change that to, if you're starting off, just quote a life a day to keep the guilt away. But knowing that you've put that effort in is a big deal. You know, I like to sleep good at night. I like to sleep comfortable, and if I can say to myself that I've made that effort, to do my job at the highest capacity, then to me, I'm gonna sleep like a baby, you know? And we all want that, Dan, we all want that. I mean, we're 43 now. We just want to be able to sleep the whole night.
Yeah, because we needed that good sleep for to have that energy the next day.
Yeah.
But yeah, Christina, that's powerful. I love everything you said there. Production follows your passion, and then when you say that to keep the guilt away, that shows that you take it as an obligation. That you have to do it for the clients, not for to make yourself more money. It's more for I got to do my job, and I think that's a whole nother level that you're at when it comes to how you look at life insurance. So I love that saying. I'm gonna share that with my team, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
put that on my nightstand too.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you
That's
know,
awesome.
living with guilt is terrible.
Hmm.
If you can, put it in the perspective of, man, I have all this opportunity, and I want to live guilt free. You know,
Hmm.
Joe Smith walks in the office and he purchases an auto policy, and I don't sell a life insurance to him, and he passes away in an accident. I'm gonna feel guilty. I'm gonna
Hmm.
feel like I could have did a better job. You know,
Hmm.
our business is not transactional, like you go to In and Out and you order a fries and a hamburger and you're on your way. This is long lasting.
Hmm.
What we do is long lasting and can definitely impact, you know, a household.
Hmm.
you know Mom and dad, same as mom and dad come in, they have cars and they've got 4 children, and I just take care of all of their cars, and never do I think about the children. I mean, to me, that would make me feel guilty. That
Hmm.
would make me feel guilty if something happened to them and they weren't able to have some kind of life insurance. um a lot of times people say, well, they just don't want it or it's too expensive. You know, um, Another clever thing to say is something is better than nothing.
Hmm. And at least we did our job by at least mentioning it. They can
Absolutely.
maybe make that decision, but we want to feel like we're doing a good job because we take our job seriously
Yeah.
and um, feeling good
Don't stop
that,
there.
yeah.
And don't stop there. If they say
Hmm.
no today, there could be a yes a year down the road.
Hmm.
Maybe it's the moment where something happens that's very pivotal in their life.
Hmm.
Um,
But you planted that seed.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Absolutely. You don't know when it's gonna be time, but if you're planting the seed, eventually it will happen. It
Hmm.
will. I've seen it happen before. My team, I've planted seeds with certain clients, and years go by. It's like, hey, this guy's name was Manuel. It was great. He's cool. Like, we all loved him, and he's a great guy. His wife had life insurance, but he didn't. And I'd say, Manuel, we've done this analysis. You need this, you need that, no, 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 no. And so I think I was out of the office, and one of my APs, she called me up and she says, hey, Manuel started his life insurance, you know? And I'm like, who did the policy? And she says, I did. And she was so happy because we had been planting those seeds, you know, for so long. And finally, he started a policy. That was one of the hardest sales that I was involved in, but never actually, I didn't start it, my team did. So yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of team effort, tell me a little bit about the journey you went on last year, because we all go through as agency owners challenges when it comes to staffing. What did you go through and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, it's great that you mention it. In the last quarter of 2022, I went down to one team member, and it was she and I, for a few months. And I think I was expressing this to you. A couple times I said to myself, that's it. Nothing more could come of this. Nothing more this other than just, something bad. And it's time to just close it up, and we all have this inner dialogue, and I'm just being very honest and very truthful. And she said to me, I'm never taking you as one to give up. Right now is your opportunity to shine. She says, you'll come back. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I will. And as heavy as the stress weighed upon my chest every single day, because you turn into, production oriented, you can go have lunch, maybe you can come into the office a little bit later you're showing up at 8, or whatever time it may be. Production then goes over to retention, and then you're wearing all these different hats. Plus, you're also dealing with customer service, and you're just trying to survive. And so this heart to heart that she had with me woke me up. The warrior within me, stirred up. And, if you could have, put it into a visual, it would probably be me like with some kind of pitchfork running at, the enemy and saying, you won't conquer me, you won't conquer me. And had to like dust myself off, give myself a few minutes to, was there more than a few minutes, but to just process the one team member. So I went into action immediately. I started talking to people, scouting, going, if you go to like a Starbucks, I went into another coffee shop around here and just looking for people, and I was able to bring in 2 staff at that time. And, they really were in the trenches with us because they had no idea, Guidewire, all these Apex and all these things about insurance. They weren't licensed, and I'm like, you're going to get licensed, and they're like, oh my gosh, insurance is scary. But they were ready to, conquer, whatever needed to be conquered with me. And so we made it through, Dan.
But that was only 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Did you say 2022, December?
2022, yeah. So it was September.
Wow.
I know I kind of projected as to almost being a year because, we always like to, inflate the numbers just a little bit.
No, it's even more impressive that you're able to build a team
Yeah.
that's short of a time.
Yeah. So, at that point, they got licensed, and now I have a total of 9 staff members, 3 of which are part-time, which is perfectly okay, and 6 are full-time, and 6 are either property and casualty or personal lines licensed, and there's 3 of us that are duly licensed. So yeah, it really was I want to, it's not miraculous because I mean it is absolutely miraculous. It is because I draw, from, you know, where I know that God has provided the strength to me. But I needed to just kick myself in the butt again. Geez, there's so much butt kicking, and here we are, like I say, we're, almost 17 years in, and yeah, I had to, because I wasn't gonna accept defeat. Even the team that I have now, I'm like, okay, this is the most I've ever employed.
Wow.
And, and I'm super stoked about it. In 2021, we had 7. And so I'm like, okay, sat down and, I just had to go about, making, the hierarchy for the office, and all my team, they all know what each team member does. And, so nobody has questions, they can refer back to their handbook and things like that. I had to just basically regroup and also like revamp what I already had. These are new people, and so it's been a little bit of a journey,
You've been working, you've been working hard.
I've been working hard, yeah. But it's wonderful to be able to employ them.
Yeah.
They're fantastic, right now we're on an office promotion, and that is geared for life insurance, and I just want to be able to, have them a part of what we do, and share in those earnings, as well. Um, and mostly too, I feel like it kickstarts them as well, because someone may not be as passionate about life insurance like I am, but if they have like a little dangling carrot or something, that might help them, and then before you know it, they're super passionate. So
Yeah, because like you said, it starts from the top.
mhm,
And I think the reason they're fantastic is because, you are,
yeah,
so I think it all starts with us and how motivated and how passionate we are about the business and the opportunity. And I think that usually flows down to your staff members. But yeah,
yes,
that's a great story of just, whenever we have our back to the walls and we're just feel like it's not gonna even work out, even getting to that low, to just putting in massive action. And sometimes that's really all we have to do is just put it into another gear. And if you
yeah.
work hard enough for it, then your whole career and your whole agency could look totally different in just the
Oh,
span of 6 months, because not only did you hire 8 people, you also wrote all this commercial and then your life insurance production. So yeah, I just have to acknowledge you for just tip my hat to you. I mean, it's just what you just done is because I know, because I'm in the same shoes as you, is how not easy it is.
not easy, no, no, but you too, Dan, just like me, we've got that inner warrior, and we don't want to give up. We don't want to give up on the people that we employ. We don't want to give up on ourselves. And I just couldn't take knowing that giving up wasn't even an option. Perhaps it was just a little thought, because everything's so hard. Your back's up against the wall. But I could never see myself doing it, you know. Um, so yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I hope and pray that I don't have to go through something like that soon. But if I do, I mean, I have the experience now. So, whatever whatever life throws my way, I feel like I've got a really good resume to battle it, you know. And yeah, the sky is the limit for me. I don't want to stop writing commercial. I don't want to stop writing life. I don't even want to stop writing auto, you know, or home. It's just, you know, I just needed to reset myself and put my mind into perspective and really just give myself a chance again, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, great stuff. I mean, it is so hard in California right now, but just finding the opportunity and taking advantage of it is definitely what you're doing. Wow, Christina, yeah. So much great stuff we talked about today, but and we could keep talking for another hour because I just really love your energy and the passion you have for the business because I feel the same exact way about it. And what it has done to our family, you know, we haven't even really talked about that, but sometimes it's the freedom it gives us to be there for them, um, and just be able to live a lifestyle that we could put our family first. But anything that you want to add to the conversation that you know we didn't touch on, or any advice to any agents listening, or anything you want to share?
You know, for me, you know, touching on the family, you know, my goal was always to just want to be able to leave a legacy for my kids. So, I wanted to be able to, I was hoping that one of them would take over the agency. You know, I still have the one hope for the one. Um, but I wanted them to live a comfortable life. I did, and I still do. And I also wanted them to realize that, you know, being an entrepreneur, you know, though it may be hard, it's definitely possible. And it's in their blood, you know, just, you know, it's in their blood too. Um, my daughter told me not too long ago, she says, I don't have any doubt that I'm going to succeed because if I know you, mom, like I know that it's in me too. And so I love it. I love it when people say, you know, oh, she's the 2.0 version of you. And I'm like, I welcome it. That just means maybe potentially I'm closer to, you know, taking a little bit easier. But knowing ourselves, we probably won't. So, you know, that's just the reality of it. But no, I do this because I have a passion for them, you know, and you know, and then and I say at the same level is the passion for my clients too, you know. I've always wanted to just establish myself as the professional, you know, in my community, you know, and I just feel like we since we still have that opportunity, then we're going to keep on doing it. So Farmers is a great company to work for. um, they've been there for me in so many different situations. I've been able to have so much, you know, and share so many memories and create memories with team members as well as my family. And I would never take it back. I would never take back the decision that I made, that scary moment, you know, to jump over into entrepreneurship and start with Farmers. You know, it's kind of like I seen the blue and I was like sold, you know, and never came back, you know. And but no, I think that anybody who is listening like to this is, you know, believe in yourself. You know, you what you're capable of is you're probably more capable of something or doing something than you actually think that you are. Have you ever pushed yourself to the limit and just challenge yourself? You know, whatever is comes your way, you know, warrior up, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, warrior up and say I'm not going to be taken down, you know. And so yeah, I appreciate you too, Dan, because you know you set the bar for all of us. And I think that you're a fantastic mentor, And thank you for giving me this opportunity to share, because I hope agents are able to, just get one little thing from this and apply it to their agency and their staff, and that they're able to see some growth or see some passion built within their team.
Well, yeah, you definitely have, Christina. Because one agent you helped out is myself. Because there's just stuff going on that sometimes I have currently felt like doubts and maybe growing at a too fast of a pace or other things that's happening with my agency that kind of put me in a darker place, which I haven't usually don't get to. So to be honest with you, this conversation is what I needed to hear the most because you're right. We've been through so much stuff, and through experience, we should know that we could go through what we're going through right now. So thanks to you, I'm gonna believe in myself more and get through what I'm going through, and I'll be able to share with you that just the timing of this was interesting, the way it's gonna work out. I'm gonna think
Awesome.
positive and look back at my experience and my team and yeah, continue to
Yeah.
believe in ourselves and gotta warrior up, no time to
Yeah,
be feeling
warrior
sorry
up.
for ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, you don't have to answer to me, but that question to you is, what does my warrior look like? You know, and bring him out, bring
Mhm.
her out, whatever it is, and we're gonna be okay,
Yep.
we're gonna be okay. So I believe in you,
Oh,
that's just one of, there's one of many that do believe in you, and but you, I know you believe in yourself too. So we're gonna get out of it. We will.
thank you, Christina. Yeah, and then having our children as our motivation. I mean, what else do we need?
Yeah, our children, you know, my children, I wouldn't, I don't think I'd be here where I'm at right now if it wasn't for them. My life has really been geared towards them. It really has been, and um, they're pain in the butt sometimes. I'm sure as yours are too, but I wouldn't take it back. All those hard times and those nights where you didn't get home until everybody was already in bed, or the missing those soccer games or those flag football moments or whatever the case may be. It all is coming back now,
Mhm.
and I'm able to spend the time with them now as adults, and so it's great. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, now be even able to work with them, and really show them how you get things done around here,
Now I'm
and
really the boss.
and, yeah, she can really understand what you do,
Yeah,
and respect it and appreciate it.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Christina, well, thank you so much for sharing your story and really inspiring everybody, including me. It's a really amazing what you done, and I feel that it's yeah, so a really great story, and someone that farmers should be very proud of to have as, part of the farmers family. And I feel grateful to have a better chance to get to know you.
Me
And
too.
yeah, um, congratulations on PC. I'm hoping I'll be there. I have to renew my passport ASAP.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. You gotta have a passport. You do
I
so.
know I checked it and it just expired earlier this year. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know.
Expedite, expedite.
Yeah.
Pay the extra 200-300 bucks. So
Yeah, so most likely I'll see you there, and yeah, we'll celebrate our success. But yeah, I just want to yeah, acknowledge you again for the work you put in to your agency, and how proud everybody is of what you've done and how much we've also learned from you as far as commercial
thank
and
you,
life insurance and staffing experiences. So
thank
I'm really
you,
looking forward to keeping in touch with you and uh, seeing you continue to grow.
thank you. You as well, Dan. You
All
as
right.
well. Thank you again.